Okay, we're live on Twitch, and momentarily we'll be live on the freaking YouTubes as well, and
YouTube.
the YouTubes. Um, I should probably get. Okay, cool. Can I have? Oh, okay, no, I don't want that. Actually, no, I do want that. Okay, hold on one second. Sorry, capturing links. Not doing that. Okay, we're live on Twitch, copying, and I'm closing. I want to do a thing on the Discords. I'm gonna say, hey everyone, look at this.
Look at this.
Look at this, everyone. Um, everybody, look at this, and that's all the work I'm gonna do. Hello, everyone who's tuning in. At any time that you're tuning into this, whether it be in the present or in the future, unfortunately not from the past. Um, uh, it's been so long since I've done a stream. My name is Jesse T. William, and I'm running a session. I'm a professional GM, and we're doing a little side quest about a terrible thing that happens to a magical spaceship thing. Oh boy, everything in this series has gone super well so far. No one's died. It's basically just kind of what's the word? Going back to home base. I know baseball. Um, Before we get into it, we'll briefly meet our current two players and some of the few people who haven't been killed in this series so far. Jack, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Hold off on the character. I'll make space for that when the session formally commences.
Uh, Hi, my name is Jack. Let's see, I study public policy in Minneapolis. Um, I'm excited to be here. I've been playing with Jesse for a while now, over 2 years.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think
I
would it be coming up on like because you were there for Kageno,
I
so
was
like 2.5 years coming is around. Jeez,
yeah.
Christ. Or no, yeah. Arlo.
Right. I'm Arlo, he, him pronouns. I have been playing with Jesse for a little over 2 years. The 2 year anniversary was back in December. I'm a music teacher out in California, uh, where it's all sunshines right now and red as rain.
Hell
And I'm glad to be here.
yeah. Uh, it's so freaking weird how quickly time passes. Because in my head, even though we've had like a couple of new players, especially recently, join with like the videos I'm making, it was like you and Mike were like the first in like the new sort of generation of players who joined like at the start of Actios, which was the preceding mission on this thing. Not that people know what Actios is, um, but it's really weird to be like it's already 2 years. Time's flying. Um, Geez, Louise. Uh, okay, I'm gonna get over that now. I'm gonna be now present in the session. I want everyone to imagine. Um, I think the first image or the first like sort of description to evoke the sense of our environment is sort of like sterile white, um, like sci-fi aesthetic, like the interior of like a Star Trek, or some Star Wars spaceships. Um, and I want to kind of imagine our mind's eye camera just like slowly moving through halls that are empty. In the background, we can hear over speakers a repeating um, message that prescribes people stay, or agents aboard the ship stay within their section of the ship. Um, After we hear that message, uh, we then, like cutting through different hulls, just this like slow creeping forward, we see um, a hall with a hole in the wall on the right. It's like pretty circular, and at the edges, it's sort of coming apart like thin wisps. Spaghettifying is not a bad image for it. Um, Arlo,
Yes.
your character, as we pick up with Selenor is a he, him as well.
Yep.
With him, is coming to the end of a run and approaching a sort of like closed and potentially locked door that you need to get to the other side of. Can you describe what your character looks like?
Yeah. So I forget the exact height that I described last time, but very tall, pale elf with large ears, white hair, pale gray blue eyes, um, weathered. He's been a part of the MAF for most of his life. He's in it around like 135 ish, somewhere around there. And he's been a part of the service for about a century. He's given his life, given everything. And there's a look of determination and almost desperation in his posture as he comes to a stop at this door.
Uh, Hell yeah. I believe last session we had figured out that um what did we figure out? You knew about the basically like the warp drive
There's
like
something
link.
on this part of the ship that is not perfect. So there's a malfunction somewhere here.
Yeah. There's a malfunction that might be able to be used to
The
our
answer.
benefit. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Um, we'll get into more detail about that later, but for the time being, we know that part of the system's malfunctioning that actually came from uh, uh, one of the logs. Fun little history. This side quest started as a horror anthology that would document the disappearance of this vessel. We know that this vessel disappears. That's a guarantee. We don't know exactly how. And in the very first session of that horror anthology, which were set in like 3 shots with different parties, one of the characters found an issue with like the navigational drive of the ship, essentially. So I guess I did explain it now. But I'll have to say this like that happened in 2023, and then I didn't have time to run more of these anthologies, so now we're finishing it here. Been waiting for such a long time to press this little button. Um, you get up to this door, and it's like more of like the other side of this door is not where the navigational drive is, directly. It's just like that half of the ship. But we exist in all of these different sections that are quarantined. You are like at the edge of the like common cafeteria area, which then like behind you beyond that is like where most of the deployed agents are, is where the bay is, like the dropship bay, is where like the armory is. Not that armory at this point matters. We will learn that it doesn't make a difference. Get out this door, and you need to continue to progress through this ship. Um, uh, what do you do?
So I've gotten rid of my readout monitor on my wrist. So, uh, but because he left it in the storage room with his two colleagues who are now spaghettifying. But he'll pull out his tablet and try to see if he can send a message to someone on the other side
Mm,
first before resorting to touching anything that is not himself.
uh, hell yeah. Um, let's do a luck check. Let's do low stakes luck.
Let me pull out my dice roller. Here we go. Okay, so I have 3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5. Um, uh, my numbers are 1, 2, 6. For those who don't know, Luck in Legacy and Saga, which is the only system we're using, or mechanic we're using. Each side rolls 3d6, so GM and player, and we're looking for matches. Low stakes luck means we just need one match for good luck. Doesn't look like we're getting it. You start sending messages out to try to like get in contact with people on the other side. I think it's just a case of like everyone's following protocol.
No one's reading.
And like people are seeing your messages and kind of just being like, there's nothing they can do, so then they're bothering to respond. Um, Jack, are we still going with the are we still settled on the like HR or like therapist character for you?
Yeah, I think specifically like dispute resolution, not one-on-one therapist.
Mm. Heck yeah. We presume that then you're somewhere in your office on the ship.
Yeah.
What does your character look like?
Um, they're also an elf, Misathian elf, so dark, dark skin, kind of shoulder length, sort of wavy hair with a little braid, uh, little crown braid or something fastened at the back. Um, Put together, but not so polished that it would be, unseemly at a time like this. Uh, and uh, pretty young looking, not not a fresh recruit by any means, but you know, the elf equivalent of like 32. So early to mid career, uh, somewhere in the hundreds.
Uh, Hell yeah. What is your character doing as this quarantine happens? So I'll also describe for you because you weren't here. Um, the brief experience that like the collective of the ship would have, which is um, mission starts, go to the pillars of order, teams get deployed, uh, and then really like sort of not unnerving logs for the MEF, but like unexpectedly uncomfortable logs come out where something's going wrong that these agents didn't know how to deal with, um, and like the mood of the ship soured. Hours after those logs came out, the ship starts quarantining. And like sections of the ship keep like shutting down, where it's like the magic itself is like going out. You're in the part of the ship that is like farthest and safest from whatever's like shutting things down. But in that time, as like this problem has been rising, what has your character been doing, and what are they doing now?
I think he's been uh, talking to the leaders of the teams, consoling them or uh, helping them work together if they need that. And I think now it seems like things have gotten kind of quiet on the ship after that decision has been made. So I think I think they're sort of available, but not currently in the midst of conversing with anyone. Um, and but prepared to remind people like, okay, this is why we have to quarantine. This is why this is why we do things this way, and then, don't if you feel like doing something wacky, like talk to me first, and we'll see how what we can do.
Speaking of wacky, um, uh, you get a little notification, um, from someone in comms that's essentially like this agent. How would I say that name again, Arlo? Selenor?
Sailor.
Salinar. Okay. Um. Uh. Salinar Sinari. Sorry, I had to lean in to look at the other part of the name. Um. Has abandoned their like wrist read. And are like messaging from the cafeteria. From a tablet. And seem like perhaps they need someone to speak to.
Uh, okay. The other therapists are busy, I think, so I'll shoot him a call. I guess I can call the tablet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Selenor, this is Marcian from Dispute Management. Is there anything that I can do for you?
Yes, I am trying to get into this door. I have very important information in regards to a malfunction on the ship. This it could be our one way of stopping this quarantine and ensuring that more lives, are not affected.
Um, thank you for reaching out to contact me. I'm sure you understand the ship is under quarantine right now. Are you in a safe location?
I look,
Is your
I look
safety not
around,
at risk?
not looking around. This area does not appear to be contaminated. Correct?
There's no contamination with like say 100, 125 feet of you, but you have seen like some of the people who've turned into those spaghettified creatures in this general like quarantine section. So you know that there are problems that exist here.
Do we seem to understand the
I'm
nature?
about.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, you
That was a
continue.
Jetsy question. Do we understand do we understand, okay, there's a disintegration problem, or do we not even know that?
You wouldn't.
Okay.
Um, I think like some of the ship kind of does. Like the people who are in command, but it's like a thing of only the people who can like maybe do something about it. Um, uh, as to like try to minimize panic and rash decisions and thinking.
Okay. Selenar, I'll be straight with you. I can't I don't have the authority to just open that door myself from my office here. I would need somebody in command to 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 do that, or to somebody would have to go down there to open it up. Can you
Then get
pass
me in
along the
contact with
information?
someone who does. There is an imperfection in the ship, and I'm under the belief that if we find it and patch it, it will help us.
Okay. Um, could you tell me a little bit more about that? Patching the
Uh,
imperfection of the ship?
Jesse, what all do I know from that log?
Hmm. Um, uh, I think it's so like I'll history a little bit. When the ship went down in Actio, so the Gallant Entropy about 10 years ago was like not destroyed, but like damaged beyond the point of use and had to be recovered and repaired. Um, uh, One of the many parts of the ship that was repaired was like the navigational drive, basically like a massive magical mechanical um, uh, device that like orients um the galleon in like space and is used to like open up big teleportation areas and send the ship across the cosmos. um so like there's basically a flaw, or like in it being repaired, was not repaired 100% correct. And rather than fixing it to believe that it'll save us, exploiting that flaw to like send the ship fucking far as you can, with like, maybe the energy that remains within the ship, or perhaps to like include the non-magical parts of the ship. Exploiting that flaw would like get this ship out of a dangerous radius, and like, you know it would get it in a place where hopefully it would never affect anyone again.
Okay. I I will relay that over to Marcian and oh, am I back? Okay.
You're back. Yep.
So I'm relaying all of okay. My screen froze for a second, so that's why I paused. I relay everything, and I talk about my history as a strategist during that time in Actios, being on the ground and seeing how imperative it is for us to get this away for the safety of our people.
I'll to help Jack also a little bit here. There's sort of two things that would be at play for your character. Number one is like Selenor is going against protocol. The command is important, but also there is a feeling of something here is happening that is unprecedented. There's also to also bring this layer in, and you can decide where your character sits on it. Famously bad luck, Jam 21. This is the 21st mission of the ship with a bad luck number of 21. If someone believed in some kind of cosmic suspicion, this would be the mission that was compromised in a way that couldn't be recovered. But like all MEF logic dictates that like you try to calm this person rather than like move them up command or progress them. But I think there's an emotional side that might tell you command probably won't listen anyway, but like you could either find someone to open the doors, or you could go up to the doors yourselves and like put in some kind of code to get people like him through. But it's kind of like that like logic versus emotion right now, where your character sits on it.
Um, I guess what I'm curious about is like, how sure am I that this is the real Selenor? Like, we've had, uh, there were missions where people were impersonating, demons were impersonating people. Uh, there's every reason to believe that somebody doing that right here, like that this could be that. Uh, do I, is there a way for me to have a sense of that? Um,
His wrist read is not on his person, which is a big problem. What you can do, and I'll have you roll a luck check here, so 3d6,
okay.
is like quickly go through um, uh, the like ship cameras and different logs and perspectives to see if you can figure out more context as to what's going on, to see if this is a case where we're even looking at impersonations or if something else is happening.
Okay. Um, then I'll say, all right, I'm sure you understand I have to do some verification. Um, I'll be back. I'll be back shortly. You can stay on the line. You're the
Understood.
only person I'm talking to right now. Um, all right, so I rolled a 2, a 3, and a 6.
366. Good luck. Um, good luck is not fun to experience. Um, uh, there are a lot of there are a lot of instances that have already been recorded of what's going on. They haven't told you this, but the reason that there aren't a lot of therapists who are communicating right now is because that wing has been compromised. One of the first places that shit started to spread on the ship is in that wing. What's happening to people is that um, something somewhere, someone touched something in the Pillar of Order, and it started to like fundamentally undo their physical and magical and spiritual being. Um, and the person would at first get a little bit confused, then regress into like being completely lost and repeating themselves, and then very shortly after, physically sort of like separate and come apart into these strands, and then sort of like continue to act um, with what's the word? With a sense of like will and intent, um, but like that will and intent now like beyond recognition, and anything that that person touches, or any place point of infection that makes contact with anything else, will begin to undo um, that material. Um, so one of the places it started was in the like therapy wing, not super far from where you are, like closer to where Selenor is than where you are. Um, the secondary thing is that perhaps with this good luck check, you also see people expressing sentiments, like MEF agents expressing sentiments on like really grainy, like already corrupting like video files, like at the point of recording, they're being actively corrupted by this thing. Um, of people saying like whatever the fuck this is, like we don't know how to deal with it. And kind of like more than a couple of people already giving the opinion that like we're fucked on this. Um, Maybe I'll add a layer of sentiment here as well. There is a belief in the MEF that the MEF is a force for good, which is true, but that they are capable of like anything. Any problem that they come up against is within their wheelhouse because they have all of these plans, all of this ability. They're on the level of gods. Um, Whatever the fuck this is, doesn't seem to be concerned with any of that. Is it even like a a divine entity, or is it like some kind of like more fundamental primal elemental primordial something, right? Like everything that we're trying to do has not worked, and like the away team, the people who were went to go solve this problem at the source, um have been gone long enough to start to wonder if they failed, or if they were never to succeed to begin with. Um, there's a part of you, and it's up to you to, like to decide how all encompassing it is. But there's a part of you that is understanding Selenor's urgency and why he's willing to break quarantine, because he seems to be, like without being so explicit about it, has a vibe of like being possessed of a mind that is, the typical MEF protocol is not going to function here.
Yeah, I'll add on to that by saying that like his focus seems to be the opposite of this unraveling, and that I think he's watches some of those feeds, and I think that that's the thing that really pushes him over the edge that okay, Selenor might be onto something. So uh um so we'll say, all right, I don't know. I will I'll come and I'll get you from the door. Do you know how to fix, do you know how to do what you need to, do you know what needs to be done to this? You're not a technical expert. I'm on my way though.
I'm
Um,
not an expert in the technical, but I was there when the ship went down in the first place. I might have some insights where others may not.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna pass this information. Um, I'm gonna pass on along the information. Uh, I think, yeah, that makes sense. I think,
I will also forward the log
yeah,
where I
yeah.
found the info.
I think so Marcin will forward all of the information that he has and that Selenar has given them to uh who would be in charge of the navigation? Is that room open?
Um, uh, so there's 2 points there: the navigation, the orders, and like code. Um, is given from the bridge, but then the drive is managed from like where it's physically located in the ship, and can also like, if need be, navigate the ship from that point. So I think it would be wiser to send it to the tech crew who is like at that location, quarantining at that location, to hopefully convince someone that they're to like help you, rather than send it up to navigation who will have more protocol responsibilities and like will report it to captain and may
Y-
even like actively intervene in trying to stop you.
Yeah. So I think Marcin has at least something of a network. Um, his job is helping people get along. So I think, and that's also probably why he's not in the therapy wing, because it's more relational. I think I think he just calls in a favor. He sees who's in there, and he asks, "Hey, can you look into this for me? Uh somebody's asking me about it, and I want to make sure." I think he frames it as like, I want to make sure I have the right information, so he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't compromise them and force them to have to make those protocol decisions
Yeah.
at this point.
Make a luck check.
Alrighty.
Calling in a favor.
1, 5, and 6.
2, 3, 5. Low stakes. We'll call that good luck for now. You know someone, one of the agents or crew members in that location. You send off this message and just kind of like prime them for like progress here. Arlo, can you make another luck check? And as you do so, Marcian's gonna physically go let Selenar in.
Yeah, I think what he says is, okay, everybody's locked away in their rooms or
Mm-hmm.
locked away at their stations. Do not go into anybody's station. Do not go into anybody's room. You can only stay in the corridors, and I'll be with you the whole time. I think that's the compromise he sort of makes with himself
Okay.
about that.
Uh, 134.
Uh, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.
Fuck.
Two bad lucks in a row, which went from your very positive low stakes uh, to regular luck. Now the next roll is high stakes, and if you fail, it's bad. I will say, as you're waiting around for Marcian, you see one of those individuals who's been like spaghettified. Essentially, like if you were to um, I don't even know how to describe it. Like attach hundreds of little hooks to someone and like pull them into string, but their like general form still floats around. You know, you can tell where the arms are, where the legs are, but there's just this like weird wispy floaty thing. Um, uh, you see one maybe come within 50 feet and sort of turn towards you and begin to like drift towards you. Um,
Gonna step back, and hopefully there's enough consciousness there to reason with. Stay away. Do not touch. You are needed elsewhere, and he'll point that the opposite direction.
uh, make another luck check. I'll say this is a sort of smaller issue. So if a failure here, I won't consider like absolute failure. Because you already this is like the consequence from the previous luck check is this thing, and it's already set. Um, like the bad outcome, you're just seeing if you can adjust course here, but you won't make it worse.
Okay. 154 again.
4, 5, 6. Good luck on a high stakes luck check. You kind of point. I think at the same time that like Marcian opens the door, and Marcian, you see this fucking spaghetti thing, 30 feet away. Um, and it does kind of stop and like drift to the side. And Selenor, as you see the door open behind you, you just kind of like
I'm
back
going
up.
to take my shoes or like undo my shoes and kind of try to like jump out over so that I'm not bringing anything that
Mm,
has touched
yes, yeah, smart.
over.
Yeah, Marcin, you watch this person undo their boots, leave them behind, and then like jump through the door. As you then close it.
Thank you. For sake of trying not to contaminate each other or anything, I would like to refrain from touching one another.
Makes sense. Um, let's go to the navigation hub.
Awesome. The two of you get going. The only thing that could get in your way is the emergency response agents who would already be in whichever sectors that you're traveling through, who'd just be patrolling. So yeah, I think we'll do 3 luck checks about it. Um, I will have Marcian roll 2 and Selenor roll 1. Marcian's still at like a very good luck, still low stakes, but Selenor is high stakes. Um, so you decide where you want, or who wants to roll when.
Is there is there anything um is there anything I could do or say to clear a route? Could I say like, hey, somebody's been distressed? Um,
It would end up being the same thing. It would still be a luck check, right? But
okay,
you could say like, oh, like this sector has been compromised. Emergency response agents can like quarantine to a room to hopefully clear it. But it'd still be like they would need convincing.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, one of if one of those makes more sense than the other one. I think you would frame it in a therapeutic way so that they could return to their duties. Uh, but if you prefer, maybe it's better to just hope and use.
I I think that I it making a choice of making an action is easier to then get potential consequence to follow from it narratively, than just saying like maybe we walk through and see what happens. Like it makes this sort of more interesting thing because mechanically the same thing is happening, which is you're rolling a luck check. If it goes bad, I make up a consequence. It's
Okay.
easier for me to do that, I think, if you're like trying to do something.
Yeah. I think um uh yeah, I think he'll say, "Hey, if you could give me and somebody I'm working with 5 minutes um in three of these different points, um uh they they're under some duress and need a physical outlet, so walking would do them would do them good." Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
make a luck check.
135.
2, 3, 5. Shining good luck. So that'll clear you for the first one.
Do
I think because it's like e- c- communicating that you are going between sectors would not fly. But saying, "Oh, I need like free reign," um, I'm already in a place. This person's already in a place. This
Yeah,
sector is clean. I think the emergency response agents would like whoever you speak with or get
yeah.
in contact with will like approve it. Um, but like advise you to exercise caution. And you can make it through this sector, like 5-10 minutes until you get to the next place. Um, but I think that's uh, a one-time card pull. Because if you start saying I'm in a different sector and I want to walk
Yeah.
around again, it's like, hold on. But cool. Any moments or scenes you want to do as the two of you walk with the cleared first sector?
Um, I think uh, nothing has touched you come into contact with your suit.
No,
Okay.
I
Um,
have been very thorough and have not touched anything myself.
all right. Um, uh, sounds good. We can we can talk more along the way, I guess. But right now, I don't. Um, I my expertise is not in navigation, so I won't be of much use there. I have briefed the somebody on that team. I just let them know um, a little bit about what might be going on. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what else will need to be done. But if you have um, more advice or more insights, I'd I'd be curious to see them. And I know sometimes that stuff just comes out when you're talking. So if you want to tell me a little bit more about your experience, I saw some of the readouts and some of the recordings, but um,
I I don't I'm not going to go word for word, but he's going to explain everything that he has seen since being in quarantine in his room, seeing the minor malfunctions, the and how it's spreading, and people are seeing the like kind of that loss of knowing where one person is, seeing having witnessed that with his two colleagues that he had roomed with, and going through step by step. And it none of it sounds emotional. His voice is steady. It's just as if he were reporting a log.
um, I think Marcian tries to engage with it conversationally because he's he's the wheels are sort of turning behind his head about like what's the random thing that's going to pop up in the middle of the story that you don't consciously think about but emerges or whatever. um yeah, so he'll he'll pull all of that information together, and hopefully that also like just helps Selenor, like even though it's not a pleasant place to put your mind, like put his mind somewhere uh that's not in the current moment either. Do you want to do you want to roll the next one or should I?
I feel like we do not want that last one to be high stakes. So if I will do the second one, if
Okay.
that is okay.
Sounds good.
Did my extra good luck roll? If you roll extra good luck on a low stakes, does that
Um,
give you extra
uh,
good?
no, you'd still need to roll a perfect luck check to like
Okay,
really progress like that.
gotcha.
All right, 2, 4, 5.
and you need two matches. If you don't have two matches, um, that means that something will stop you and throw a huge wrench into this situation. It's one thing to like get to the navigation core and like spend time assessing how you can solve this larger problem while like the ship slowly decays. It's another thing being caught in another sector away from that core as the ship decay catches up to you. Um, your numbers were 2, 4, 5.
Yep, 2, 4, 5.
My numbers are 2, 3, 5. So two
There
matches.
we go.
Good luck. Um,
There we go, guys.
I think maybe employing like a little bit of your strategy. Um, uh, like maybe it's something to the effect of like, say Lenore asking Marcian like where those emergency response people were in their cycle in the previous sector, and being like, I know that they have like relationships with each other, that they're so coordinated that sector to sector, like they'll be in similar positions, and like do that math to be like, I think this is where they'll be, and I think this is the path to get us through to where we want to go. Any other notes or words before moving on to that final roll?
I think as we're walking, the try to uplift the mood a little bit because Selenor came in hot and heavy. He'll turn to Marcian and ask, "Do you have um, a reason to go back after this if we survive?"
I mean, I like I like my life. I enjoy living. I like doing this. It is. I feel like I have a purpose here, and I've really um, I think I do good work, and I'm proud of it. Uh, and if I couldn't do this here, I would do it somewhere else, hopefully. But I care about people, and I care about helping them work together, and helping them, you know, find find common ground together, I guess. How about you?
I used to have more passion towards my work here. I guess Actios ruined lot of the positive aspects of the job, but I have family back home. I have a little sister. She's just a child now. Our parents and our other siblings were lost in Actios. She has me and our great grandmother and one cousin that is in a similar predicament as she is. I also have a wife and a child on the way, so I'd like to be able to go back and maybe put aside my service to actually be a father.
Easy to see. It's easy to just see the uniform, isn't it? And there's a whole person behind it. I think sometimes that's the one of the harshest things about this life here, this life with the exoplanetary forces. thank you for sharing yourself with me. Um, let's see what we can do to get you home to your family.
And we don't have to go on, but say Lenore talk a little more about how his family is served. He's the fifth generation to be on the ground. They have the Sinari family has been a part of the MEF since the beginning.
Hell yeah. Um, Jack, let's get that final luck check to the navigational core. See if you don't frick it up for us. Low stakes.
Low stakes.
663.
663.
Yeah.
You only need one match, Jack. I have a 2. I have a 5. I have a 3. I'm being a little nasty tonight. It's very easy to get one match in 3d6. Happens 50% of the time. Um, it's tense, certainly. Like just like walking through the halls, opening doors you're not supposed to be opening, closing them behind you. For the core, you message someone within it with just like, here's information on what's going on, correct?
Yeah.
But
Not a like here's what we need to do,
yeah,
just like
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
like yeah. Does
Mhm.
this make sense? Does this sound plausible to you? I think is probably how he frames it.
Yeah, yeah. Wonderful. So you'll get to the navigational core section. You'll open the door. You see that like a couple of steps in. It's like a huge section of the ship. Like it's basically like a massive like ball bearing in the ship. That's like 100 or so feet high, maybe more, or like wide. You know what I mean? As the door opens, like the crew's just chilling around. The person that you contacted, we'll call them like a bug person named Davarak. Um, as you sort of enter, had you telegraphed that you would be showing up with someone?
Um, I think I'd probably not very directly. Probably I
Mm-hmm.
said, hey, somebody was curious about this or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Okay.
don't think it'd be total out of the blue, but not I wasn't like I will be here at this time either.
Okay. You made it to this location regardless. Even in the strictest enforcement of protocol, it would not be wise at this point to move the two of you out of this location. So nothing's going to take you out of this location. We will do a luck check. I'll call it straight down the middle between your two states. So mixed or regular luck rather than low stakes or high stakes. Uh, whoever between the two of you, whoever wants to roll it.
You want to
Um,
do it?
sorry.
Do
Do
you
you
want
want
to
to
roll?
roll one or I'll roll two or you roll
Yeah,
two and
let's
I'll
do that.
roll
I'll
one?
roll one. You roll two.
All right.
Okay. I have a two.
I got a 5 and a 2.
225.
I have 1 4, a second 4, and a third 4.
Fuck.
Um, the as Devarak turns, you see him amongst the like there's a handful of people in here, a very large room. He'll kind of look at you, the two of you, and kind of like arms like the heck, and immediately like these are fucking nerd, not everyone, a lot of nerds in the MEF, but these are nerds in here, and immediately you see someone just kind of like shake their head and immediately like, go to a terminal to start like sending a message to be like quarantine's been broken.
Wait, please.
They kind of look over. They're like still gonna type. You gotta keep talking if you want to stop them.
You were sent the information about the terminal, about the navigation, the flaw.
They're kind of stop, and then Davarak will kind of uh be like, yeah, there's it's a misalignment here. What what are we supposed to do about that? Why are you breaking protocol in a ship shutdown to come in here and point that out?
Listen, this is fixing that alignment could be our way of stopping whatever it is that is seeping in through our barriers and devouring our magic, our people.
The person
The,
uh, uh, at the terminal will kind of turn to you and like it doesn't really matter what their race is. We'll call them a human for the time. We'll call them a human, and they'll always be a human. I was gonna say for the time being, as if like they'll change. They'll turn and say, respectfully, I read the reports of what was going on. I think the solution they came up with to solve the issue at the point of the pillar is fine. I don't know why you want to do whatever. And then Devarik will kind of say, yeah, like send the ship into the far cosmos. I don't understand the point of that.
if if we do not contain what is happening, it could spread elsewhere. Do we really want this potentially spreading back to Mizithia, to Actios, to our other allies?
Make a luck check.
Okay, let me. Now that I have three, let me roll. 3, 5, 6.
2, 6, 2. Um, luck is running out. Uh, the person's kind of like sigh and finish typing whatever message and send it off. Um, uh, and the talent crew is kind of uncomfortable. Again, like this is not a place for enacting consequence. What really has happened here is that you're gonna get a message to be like naughty naughty, but more importantly, the crew here is like not at this point going to assist you in doing what you want to do. And the fact that it's like currently, like anywhere from like 20 to 50 people in here to like two, and they all have a technical know-how and you don't, is like a pretty severe block. And this thing is going to continue to spread for a lot before that changes. Basically the message gets sent out and like the person just kind of like walks off, as partially to be like, this is uncomfortable and I'm not good with conflict, but the other thing to be like, and I don't know if you're infected or what's going on. So they kind of clear a little bit of space for you, but Devarak will kind of like maintain middle distance for conversation, but is also kind of like a little disappointed that both of you followed through to come all the way here when something bad could be going on.
Look, believe me or not, our lives are at stake. I have about 100 years of experience working in strategy. Our current mission, our current protocols are not working for this. It is only delaying a proper response, and more lives are dying because of that inaction.
Devarak will kind of shrug and say, if we can't solve it at the point of the pillar, but we're gonna shoot ourselves across the cosmos, it doesn't really matter when this thing gets activated, right? So hopefully we just wait and they solve it rather than us potentially breaking the system and getting stuck and lost out there.
You're willing to put not only thousands of lives of our soldiers, but as well as our people back home, the people that we are doing this to protect. our mission is to serve our people, is it not?
I mean, it's to
And
serve the general cosmos, right? And it feels like we're not at the point where we believe that that's a threat to the cosmos. So let's act like MEF agents and maybe chill out.
I think, do you do you have a could you get us a water? I think at least I'm pretty thirsty.
Yeah. And he'll walk off and
Uh,
get some water.
Marcian's gonna put a I guess he won't put a hand on Selenor's shoulder. He'll start to, and he'll be like, uh, "This is urgent, but we're coming in pretty hot. Uh, they have to trust us." Um, and getting more agitated isn't gonna persuade them.
he'll he'll pause for a minute, take a take a big sigh. You're
I
right.
believe you. I've seen what you've seen. Let's let's see what we can do. Um,
And he'll nod.
Because of the collective failure, and honestly, I'll also say Arlo's other failure, I think both of us were all at high stakes now. You know, yeah. Um, coming in hot, you're right, Marcian. I think it's also a thing of like, you were willing to break protocol because you took the time to like really understand the urgency of the different people who've experienced this. Um, but also, you're coming from an emotional standpoint. All of these people are like specifically the kind of people in the MEF who think that this is a solvable problem at the point of like um uh where the MEF wants to solve it, and not like ejecting the ship into outer space, right? Or not outer space, that doesn't exist, but you know, like far cosmos. Um these people need uh a line of rationality that gets them to believe that ejecting the ship is the correct course, which will mean that this will have to progress through the ship more. That like the mission will have to clearly have failed on the pillar, and that is the like the more desired outcome.
um, I think uh, I think then he'll ask um, for uh, a box, like a whatever, not airtight, but like secure box to put the rest of Selenor's things in, including his tablet. Because Marcin had thought of that
Mm-hmm.
already. Marcin, part of this was Marcin understood. Uh, it's the MEF. Sometimes he almost didn't let Selenor in. Like he almost would have just taken the information. He was on the cusp of just taking the information and saying like, "Sorry, dude, like I can't break protocol, but I'll carry the information onwards." Uh, so I think he tells Selenor like, okay, now that we're where you want to be, you know, extra security, put your stuff away. Um, so only
Oh,
he has a readout and a tablet, and then he's following that, and then he's gonna try to strike up a conversation just to connect with
Devara.
Devarik, yeah, and anybody else, uh, just to to tone the vibes down a little bit. Um, yeah, uh,
We'll roll one last regular luck check to see how long it takes before um they begin to get concerned about a larger issue, and then
Yeah.
it'll be a separate luck check in convincing them afterwards to take action. But let's we can do maybe a one of you roll 2, one of you roll 1 again. However you want to divide that up.
Do you want to do the 2 again and I do the 1, or do you want me to do the 2?
Um, I'll do the 2.
Okay.
I got a 3 and a 2.
1.
I have a 5, a 3, and a 2.
Okay.
Good luck again. The luck today, where in Arlo's session it was with Arlo, today it's with Jack.
Yep.
After like 20 minutes, which is an excruciating 20 minutes, but it's like every section that was adjacent to a corrupted section with like magic failing, every adjacent section is failed, and it's like also 25-30 minutes past the point of expecting the mission on the pillar to be done. The fact that you're here also is just a reminder of like that there is worry to be had. And also something that was established is that people who were in Actios have like a little badge, partially to be like, this person went through the most traumatizing thing an MEF agent has been through. Be sensitive, but also as a sense of honor. I think one of the people, I don't think it'll be Dvorak, but I think one of the people who's just kind of like standing around, they're like a good like 30, 40 feet away from you, kind of like has been looking over, and will sort of shout over to Selenar, who's honestly like probably like next to the door, right? Is that Actios?
He'll look down at it and he'll nod. Yes. My whole family and I served. I was the only one to return.
Sorry about that. The progression of this stuff, if you had it, we'd know already. So you don't need to stand over there.
You would. Wait, is he inviting me to come closer?
Yeah. Like you don't have to like
Yeah. Okay.
like stay completely away.
Okay. Looking at Mercy and nodding, and I'll come closer.
Mind if I ask a question about Actios?
Go ahead.
Did you know it was bad when it was happening, or did you realize it after the fact? Like, obviously it was bad, but how bad it was?
I died more times than I can count. They reprinted my body 4 times. I think after the second time I died, I realized that it was bad. It didn't take long. I watched my whole squad, 2 squads of mine, wiped out.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Make another luck check.
Is this all you, or should I
This is all Selenar here, Arlo.
say Eleanor?
Okay. 3, 4, 6.
4, 5, 5. You see, the person's like mulling it over, right? They're like kind of trying to take the lesson of Actios of like, if we had known, if we had had foresight and known where things went wrong, could have done something about it. If we were to imagine foresight on this mission, seeing something go wrong, maybe we should do something about it. Um, this person, in imagining what's going wrong, I think will look at you and give a nod. Um, I'm gonna have both of you make another luck check here. It's basically exclusively high stakes.
Okay.
Um, uh, doesn't won't change his course of action, but you might realize it. What he's
Yeah.
about to do.
Okay. And I think in that moment, Selenor will also say, in my 115 years of service, I've never once broken protocol until today. I would not have done it otherwise if I didn't think that it could help us succeed this mission.
As you're saying that, they're kind of like turning and walking over to the um, terminal, and like nodding and listening, and like it's clear that your words have touched them. You just don't know exactly how. What are your two luck checks?
How many should I roll?
So each
I
of you doing
roll.
3d6
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
each of us doing three.
separate luck checks.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Super high value. 566.
Okay,
I got 611.
okay. Both of you got one match with six. Um,
I got two matches. No, you only got one
I got one
six.
six. Um, uh, walks out of the terminal, and I think in your heart, because you want to believe that he like believes you, um, starts interacting with it, and you see a couple of things light up on the drive, and you're like, okay, good. Um, like expecting him to maybe begin initiation process. Finishes typing, enters something, and then looks back at you. And when it kind of makes eye contact with Selenor, there's a sort of thing of like, it's not quite disdain. It's maybe a little bit of like regret and disappointment for you. The kind of thing of like, you've been through a lot as an Actios veteran. It sucks that you're like failing as an agent now. But they've just done something to the terminal and you don't know what it is.
Uh, I think so. Marcian wasn't a part of that conversation. He was chatting it up. I think what he had been trying to sort of like mostly chatting and then talking a little bit about like, okay, so like what are the circumstances where you're trying like
Yeah,
kind of trying to get an idea of like, okay, yeah, like we're on the same team here. Like,
yeah,
what are the circumstances where you would need to do something?
yeah. You could have been chatting to Tavarik. You would have noticed the guy approach the terminal and like something happening with Selenor there. But yeah, talking to Tavarik. Um, let's do uh, uh, another luck check. Again, high stakes at this point. Um, as you kind of like talk him through, because like Devarik's already kind of on your side, like kind of like, but more willing, but um, uh, wasn't going to go against protocol or the rest of the group. Oh yeah, give us
Yeah.
another luck check. See if we're feeling lucky again.
Is this
One, three,
just
five.
Jack?
Just Jack. 135 144. He'll like describe to you like things would need to be pretty bad. Um, you know, uh, at the point of you kind of resolve to like this like basically like it needs to get to this fucking room before people really are worried. Um,
Okay.
uh, he will go over. He'll like notice his coworker having gone to the terminal, and will kind of walk up to it to like look at what happened. Because again, kind of like on your side, like doesn't want to doesn't want to make you feel like you're in the wrong, because like it's a collaboration. We're all on the same team. Goes up to the terminal, and looks at it, and you see like the face, like the eyes just kind of get wide, and he'll look over at the person walking away, and then like look back to the two of you and say, it's he locked it. This can't be unlocked without the captain or high rank command a key. I I mean, if there is a problem, that's not good. He'll kind of turn and say that a bit louder, um, as the person continues to walk away, and like some of the other people will begin to approach and be like, "What's going on?" Um, what do the two of you do?
Uh, well, uh, Marcian's calm, but I guess I'll ask, like, you know, we never would know how to use that thing anyway. So what did you do that for?
That person's already walking away. They're
Oh,
like not even, yeah.
he's
The
walked.
person who did it, Devarik didn't do it. It was the person who's
Yeah,
talking to
yeah,
Selenor who, yeah.
yeah. Did he say anything, Selenor?
No. He asked about Actios and if I knew that it was going bad when it did. And I told him that I did. And then he did that.
Well, I guess I'll ask or they'll ask Tavarak, like, is this something, can he undo this, or is this, where's your, I still pull up the like figure out where like the nearest person who can undo this thing
Yeah.
is.
Uh,
And
he'll,
probably not reach out to contact them right now, but just
yeah.
like,
Um, he'll look and say, I mean, I could open the system and try to undo it, but that would take a lot of time. It, hopefully, we have it, or hopefully the mission's just successful. But it's if this is the solution, it's we have 15 to 30 minutes before we can access it. Um, you pull up sort of nearest um, person who could unlock this. It would be the captain, who
okay,
is like a couple of sections away. Captain Dimkadi, Dimqadi, who could undo this, whether remotely or in person. Um, but still, it would be like, well, yeah, you could get on a call potentially, but also like, I'm sure a lot of people really want to talk to the captain right now.
yeah.
Um,
I'm not doing that yet.
yeah, yeah,
But I want the list of like
yeah,
every person who can do this, where are they in relation to me?
yeah.
How far progressed? If we're the mental barrier of like thousands of people on the ship will die
Mhm.
before we leave.
Yeah.
The ship is getting disintegrated. Uh, who are the likely ones to be in a position like,
There's a couple of people in like strategic command who
okay,
would also have this kind of access, as
okay,
well as like whatever the top um, emergency response officer would be as well. But the emergency response officer would be like deep in the part of the ship that is already super compromised, so they're kind of
okay.
a write off. But like everyone else would be
Um,
themselves still probably.
So I think first of all, what like Marcin is gonna talk like circuit like he'll be asking stuff to the 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 crew. I mean, certainly Dvorak first, but like if that's who he knows, but like the other people on the crew just like, you know, whoa, this is wild, right? But then uh figure out like, okay, like I get I get that, you know, you're not ready to pull the plug yet. I don't know enough to know what that decision should be. But not being able to pull the plug if we need to is crazy. Like we're on the same page about that, right? Like uh I don't I we can, you know, we can go chill somewhere else. There's nothing, we're not in a position of power to make any decision here. But you do want the mission clearly has been compromised at least at some level, otherwise they would be back. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean they won't be successful in the long run. It doesn't, we don't know what that means, but we've just removed a fail safe. So you have your protocols for what to do about that. You know, I would encourage you to think about that, right? Like um
2 out of 5 high stakes luck checks is all you need to succeed. High stakes is like not very common. 2 matches out of 3 is not very common. Um, I'm considering letting you reroll a single dice, but I think 2 out of 5 already gives you a fair enough shot. Um, yeah. Uh, uh, this will be considered the first action in that requires a luck check. But from this point, I would like us all to, each of you, to kind of contribute. Like, I'm gonna reach out to this person. I'm gonna try to leave this room and find the cat. You know, like that's what I'm kind of want to be start to look forward to prompt these luck checks. So this, you talking to the crew and trying to be like, we should all open this issue up, right? Like we should all like get together and be on the same side about this. We'll consider this the
yeah,
first action. So I'll let you take
yeah,
that, Jack.
right.
While he's doing that,
One, two, five. Yeah. No, go for it.
um, I'd like to try to figure out how fast that it is spreading. So
Mhm.
based off of the timeline from being in the wing where it started and how
Gotcha.
far it has come before
I'll
reaching
I'll
Marcian,
consider this as like
so that we can see
information
how much time
gathering
we have.
for like basically a strategic like proposal to be like, hey, this is the time that we have, Mr. General, Mr. Captain, or whoever. Um I give you this information, please listen to me. But 125 for Jack.
Yeah.
116. Arlo, make a luck check for your information gathering. Hoping for 2 matches.
Okay. 2, 4, 6.
I have a 2. I have a 2. I have a 4. You, now that you know that your like pad is fine, your tablet's fine, you open it up and like begin to look through to see like what sections are receiving no signal, what second sections are like shut down, and like get an estimation of like time. We'll call it like maybe from this point, maybe around 30 minutes, or about maybe a little more than the time that this guy said that it would take, or Tavares said it would take to fix. Um, uh, so you have that information. You can deliver it to like one of 3 people to try to ask um, them to like give you the key to open this console.
Um, Looking through the Marcian's list of people, um, the likelihood of the captain is very low. I'll like include him in that thread, but I'm going to send it to all of them in hopes that
Mm,
someone will respond.
okay.
So
That is our
as many eyes and
third
ears.
luck check we'll consider. Go ahead and roll, Arlo. See if luck be on your side.
I keep rolling these numbers. Three, four, five.
I rolled the exact same that I did last time, which is a two, two, and a four. Um, on if someone unlocks this, um, it's not going to be any of the command. Um, that leaves a potentially very compromised emergency response officer. And that leaves, and then otherwise it's up to Dvorak to solve this in time. But like as like time is counting down, every second is beginning to count. Unless you can think of other things. Um, but yeah. What's the next attempt? We're up to three. We have one success so far.
Uh, so the crew won't help.
The crew, Dvarak's still helping, but the crew aren't going to speed it up. They're kind of in a place of like, things are bad, but they're not so bad yet that it's like, like they're kind of listening to the conversation, seeing like Selenor wants to message the command. So it's like if the command are going to respond and give this key, then that's probably like sign enough. If they don't, then we'll defer. But Dvarak is still like actively working on it and trying to crack this.
Uh, all right. Well, I don't think there's much Marcin can do to help Dvorak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other guys run off.
Yeah, the guy who
Um,
shut it down is kind of just
I
like
can shut
walked
it
to the
down
other side of the room.
to the other side of the room. Okay. And so it's not like he could just fix it
Yeah,
himself.
he did a thing that was like I'm doing a executive shutdown, and then it needs someone else to come in and fix it.
I see. I see. I see. Um, I had a um, I guess I don't know. So I don't know what like in Marcion's toolkit, he's, you know, the-
Yeah, I'll um I want to find the line between like collaborative, like here's what your character would know, and also not just like giving you the answers. Um, there are more people on the ship who know how the ship functions, and know how tech functions than just in this room. Um, uh, Maybe the perspective is like if someone in this room can't solve the problem quicker, maybe someone outside of this room who doesn't have executive function might be able to um, uh, give some advice, get some kind of thing that will help solve this problem.
yeah. So I guess do they know anyone? Who do they know?
I think it would be more of a thing of like you figuring out what kind of role you'd ask for, because like you like comms is still active. You can still talk to a significant portion of the ship. It would be more of a sense of like I want a tech person to who knows a little bit more about how these things functions rather than how the navigational systems operate to help Dvarak crack this code. Or like reaching out to see if fucking the emergency response officer is still alive and knows the code, or it's like things like that where it's like what do I think I can pull from the ether here.
Yeah, I mean I think the emergency response guy probably makes the most sense
Mm-hmm.
here. So uh he'll do that, I guess. That
Okay.
probably Um,
We'll say then you can like basically send a message through the comms officer or one of the comms officers to like blast it across the ship to be like if this guy's still around.
yeah,
Um,
I
but hell
think I
yeah.
think if anything, what he does is he makes that message pretty explicit about what's going on. And so the ship, like if not one person, then like
Mm,
that the people are going to be hearing that
yeah.
even if it isn't the comms officer. And so hopefully somebody emerges from the woodwork,
Okay. Okay.
something to, with something to contribute.
That sounds good to me.
Our teleporting is down.
Yeah, no
We need
teleporting, but
to save everyone. Oh,
yeah,
wonderful. So yeah, roll your luck check. Let me know what you have when you're
got
ready.
a 2, a 4, and a 6.
I have a 1.
Okay.
I have a 2. I have a 5. Comms officer. There's a lot of people on comms who are asking for favors. It's not even that they're overwhelmed. It's more of the fact that it's like everyone's kind of asking for something right now and we can't give it to anyone. You don't even make progress with the comms officer. You start trying to like send, just like find lists of people and send messages. A lot of the people just like, if they're in a compromised zone, aren't receiving, um, or like they're malfunctioning kind of like gear.
Yeah.
The last luck check will have both of you do. So like between the two of you, 3 dice, and that'll be for Devarik to get this in time. But it's like this is beginning to progress. More systems of the ship are going down. Um, yeah.
Uh,
Jack, do you want to do the 2 or the 1?
I'll do the 2. And also, yeah, so we said no, I don't get to, because that would have been a strategically good one to re-roll.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say no reroll here.
Okay. Doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Doesn't hurt to
Uh,
ask.
Doesn't hurt
Fair
to
ask.
ask. Okay,
all right, so ready, set, go.
I got a 6.
I got a 2 and a 5.
2, 5, 6.
My middle dice is a 3. Not that you can see. My end dice is a 6. My lowest dice is a 2.
We
Um,
got it.
it takes a damn minute. But like Captain, any of the commanders are not responding on comms. Shortly, comms will start to malfunction. So that option, at the point that it becomes like so undeniable that something's going wrong, the option to solve it through comms goes down. Um, uh, the ship isn't. I don't think it's beginning to lose power because like a significant source of power is not far from this core. But it's like it's getting dire and it's getting close. Devarik is he's a bug, so I guess he can't sweat. But he's whatever bugs do that is the equivalent of perspiration. He's leaking. I don't know. Um, uh, you see, he's like swearing and like getting frustrated and like stressed. But then stops typing and like slams the sort of enter key. Um, and sort of like looks and will look over, will like snap to Selenor and point to be like, there's a thing over there you need to go interact with. I opened it up. Um,
Okay, I
uh,
run.
you run. Um,
Is it blinking?
yeah, it's like a little panel on the wall. You get there like no problem. He'll kind of give you the signal of like he's gonna input something, and you're gonna like pull a lever or something at the same time.
Yep.
Before he gives you the signal, Selenor and Mercian, you're about to condemn everyone on this ship to death and oblivion, maybe never to be found again. Maybe that's the point. We don't want them to be found because this infection will exist, and spread. Nothing from this ship can ever see anything else in the cosmos. This pillar that is infected all the information contained on it. Pacts, true names, true loves, true relationships. Even though there are many pillars of order, also something fundamentally will be lost in the cosmos with the disappearance of this pillar as well. How do the two characters feel about that idea and that you were included with it?
Selenor thinks back to his family, how he and his wife failed at trying to get custody of his little sister between his great grandmother, and if he dies out here, he's condemning his little sister to carry the burden of the Sanari family name of going into service. He thinks about his wife, who they had not only lost friends, they lost another partner during Actios, and he's condemning her to lose her other love. He's condemning her to the plan that they have made out, that she would abscond from the family and raise this child by herself so that they are not affected by this familial burden. And he just hopes that his final message that he had recorded before starting this mission does get back to her, as that just in case he did die, to know to follow through with the plan and make sure that their child does not see service in the MEF like he had, like his two younger siblings that were dead have, his parents, everyone.
Mercy?
Mercy.
Um, I think Marcian is thinking about time. I think um, he's I think in moment to moment, there's always a what do we do next? How do we keep going? How do we keep moving? How do we solve this problem? What do these people want? Um, I think I think he thinks I think there's a part of him, even even at the end, that wants to believe that what they're doing is they're buying either themselves or other people time to understand what what went on and prevent it from spreading, or prevent it from um, or recover what can be recovered, find a way if there is one. um, I think he thinks about how all things must come to an end sooner or later, and that even souls burn out eventually. um, so I think that he finds a place of stillness, wondering about, you know, thinking about that. Um, there's part there's a part of his mind that wants to find the solution. Maybe we go somewhere far away, and it slows down because it's not near the pillar of order anymore. Maybe when the you know who knows what's written on that pillar, and if once the pillar is consumed, if the infection spreads. There's so many things. Maybe it makes sense to blow up the ship and kill everybody before, so at least their souls can reach an afterlife of some kind. but that doesn't always exist in space. So I think there's a part of him that's trying to reason through all of those things, but like it always comes back to time.
Dvorak, look over at Selenor. Um, just has this expression of like we're about to do something very crazy and very important. We'll sort of look over at Marcy and not say anything, but you can tell that there's a sense of like, fucking good job for arranging this. Good job. And we'll look back to Selenor, take a couple of things down, give you a nod. Uh,
And our hands shake a little bit as he grabs it, but then steadies, and then he'll pull it.
um, the massive sphere in this chamber lights up, and you see like the detail, the misalignment is like micrometers. It's a detail that would take such a uh, refined eye. And I think we'll quickly flash back. I forget what the player character looked like, but watching this like young human kid fresh out of the academy look at this device and just notice in the way of like when a picture hangs crooked on a wall, that kind of like that's a little bit off, and making a log about it and walking off not thinking anything of it. um that slight misalignment and surging energy into this drive for basically like a what would otherwise be a long distance like jump. um Magical arcane blue energy begins to like collect and surge and spark around in these like large strikes of electric like arcane lightning. And it gets brighter and brighter and brighter in this room. We will cut away to see the outside of the Gallant Entropy, um, and the Pillar of Order. On the almost underside of the Gallant Entropy, there is a hole that has like opened up and is like, maybe about like 20, 30 meters across and like spaghettified. And you can see the interior and you can see the different parts of the ship that have like turned off and what's still active. Um, the Pillar of Order and the Gallant Entropy are like perpendicular. And you see that as this like from this navigational core, this like large expansion of energy will like expand out. Um, the pillar itself, there's hundreds and hundreds just suspended in the cosmic sky. The pillar itself will move and turn, if as if by the hands of its god, to tuck in with the Gallant Entropy. And this ball of energy will expand and then close. There is the smallest arcane like scar, and then the scar is sewn together somehow and disappears with no evidence and no trace of where this ship went. Back in the core, everyone stands around. Dvorak, sparks beginning to like fly and like just like a bit of magical mayhem, but nothing that's worth fixing at this point. Um, uh, he'll sort of look at the console and will say, wherever we are, we made it. Uh, Sort of between axes, far cosmos, coordinates are a little in between. but I think that's good. I kind of take a couple of steps back. I guess this is where the end of the line is for us.
We did the right thing. The the possibility of that spreading through civilizations, it would be the end of everything.
That's what being an agent is, right? It's a sacrifice.
A sacrifice that they do not have to make.
Nod.
If we are remembered, we'll be seen as heroes.
Look over at Marcine again. Good job, man.
You too. You too.
Kind of shake his head. And like close the eyes. And chuckle a little bit. The fulfilling of the suspicious, or that's not the right word, superstitious. Fulfilling of the superstition. The bad luck gem 21 on this 21st mission. 77, 21. We'll cut or close the session before he says the words out loud. But as you all resign yourselves to succumb to this infection. Or sorry, no, there's one more detail I wanted to give. I forgot. Screen will fade to black, or cut to black. And we'll see from the perspective of the cosmos surrounding. Where this is in the cosmos, it's like, so you see behind me sort of like pink and purple. That's like standard of like a certain position in the cosmos. Like if you're going through different dimensions, right? The cosmic background will change color, and typically there'll be like 2 to 3 colors. Here there's like 7. It's like yellow and purple and orange and pale blue and red. But not like organized in a rainbow, but just like clouds and clouds. And we see the sort of pillar of order there. The pillar of order most pillars of order should be very like rough surfaces because of all the writing that is on the exterior and interior. The pillar is completely smooth. And the gem, Gallant Entropy, from the same angle that we saw it before with that hole, we see it as it was. But there are no lights that come from it. It is completely dark.